Media and financial commentator Stephen Mayne, founder of Crikey.com, joins me now in the studio. Great to have you with us, Stephen.
Thanks, Beth.
This, I guess, makes it clear of what possibly he intended all along, that he was going to keep it in the family.
Well, he's a fanatically dynastic kind of guy, and he's always wanted to do what his father did, which was to pass on a vibrant, successful business to his children. So no matter all their struggles and problems, he's always wanted to do that. And today he's finally got one son with the title chairman next to his name and the other son with the title CEO next to his name, which means that he can effectively exit, and the two boys are at the very top of the tree.
We'll talk about that effective exit a little later, but in terms of James taking over as CEO, and we just saw bits of that extraordinary hearing that was before the British Parliament, is he rehabilitated as far as the business world is concerned to be running a company of this size?
Well, like any other company, you would say no, that the damage from the News of the World scandal was so profound he should have been ruled out forever. But he has had 3.5 years in New York, and there's been no major stuff-ups there. And he has been working with Chase Carey, who's the very well-regarded Chief Operating Officer. So the shares didn't really react too badly today, and I think James is a lot more capable than Lachlan. I think that's sort of the way that people read it. And it is a bit messy that all three of them, Rupert, James and Lachlan, now are sort of power sharing between the three of them, so a committee of three.
And that could that muddy the waters in terms of when the decision making comes to the crunch, or will it still be Rupert making the final calls?
Well, I think Rupert ultimately is making all the calls, but clearly the succession is not settled because Lachlan, who hasn't been an executive for 10 years, all of a sudden he's co-executive chairman and moving from Sydney to Los Angeles. And with Chase Carey exiting, Lachlan will be the king of Hollywood, whilst his father and James sit there in New York. So these are very big changes, and the first time you've had Murdoch's completely stamped over the management of this vast global empire.
And critical to that issue is he's always had very good right-hand men running the business, effectively running the business and carrying out the orders. Do you think this is a worrying change in terms of what people might expect from these two companies?
Well, that is the big issue, is that Peter Chernin and then Chase Carey for nearly 20 years have been sensational media executives who've run Hollywood, run the film studio, understand TV. All of a sudden, they're all going to be gone. And it's going to be an 84-year-old guy who's been CEO for 63 years, who's, can't do it as he used to. And his two sons, 43 and 42, with checkered CVs, but, some talent. So that is the big question, is with Netflix and Google and Apple and Facebook and all these things coming at them, are these the three people who you want to protect an empire worth almost 100 billion Australian dollars?
He looks like he's going to last forever. When will he pull back, do you think, or will it be never?
Look, I think it'll be until he's physically incapable of doing it. I mean, he hasn't even done a Frank Lowy and gone non-executive like the Westfield boss did. So Rupert is still co-executive chairman. So he still is an executive of two companies, News Corp and 21st Century Fox. So, and his salary last year was $35 million US. So I can't see him stopping being an executive until the doctors tell him or something catches up with him. And so if he can go on into his 90s, he will try and do that. He will work until he can't.
What does this mean for News Corp, of course, which have substantial interests, of course, in Australia as well, and what that might mean for jobs? Do you think things will continue now pretty much as they are?
Well, the big changes for News Corp, because the CEO is an Australian, Robert Thompson, sitting in the office next to Rupert's in New York. But Lachlan was the Sydney-based co-chairman of the whole company, the non-executive co-chairman. Now he's moving from Sydney to LA, and there's a big talk about who's going to be the new CEO in Australia, because Julian Clark has been the stopgap measure. He's into his 70s. So the Australian situation is actually quite fluid, and also Lachlan's got his residual interest in Channel 10, which has to be resolved as well. So some interesting chess pieces need to be shuffled around now that Lachlan is heading back over the Pacific to LA.
And do you think it's a sign that perhaps they're not as invested in that business because, of course, it's not producing the kind of dollars it once did?
Well, that's right. I mean, it's worth $8.4 billion US in market capitalisation, whereas Fox is worth $67 billion US tonight. So you can see it's barely 10%. It really is the pimple on the backside. And it's the world's biggest newspaper empire, but it's such a dinosaur industry. Its profits are going down. It's not worth much at all. So in dollar terms, it's inconsequential, but Rupert's always been that fanatical newspaper guy. So he'll always watch it closely, but investors are really on the main game, which is Fox.
Great to get your insights. Thanks for coming in, Stephen.
Thanks, Bev.